All right, everyone. Now it's time to talk about an event involving Trump that was honestly a little bit odd, and that was this executive order signing ceremony. A few members of the press were present at the time. He sort of sits down. He's got the little thing with the executive orders that apparently he had planned to sign. He then got questioned by a couple members of the press regarding the Flynn crap, and he just ended up walking out. Like Mike Pence, for a second there, looked confused and sort of grabbed him and asked him something. I assume, where the hell are you going? Aren't we going to sign this? And he's like, oh, grab the ledger or something like that, and then walks out. Mike Pence, you can see the people behind him, they looked a little bit confused as well. And Pence goes back to, the desk there and grabs, I guess, the ledger with the executive orders, with the actual papers in them, and then leaves too. And it was all a little bit on the surreal side. Now, of course, the problem with Trump and the press has continuously been many members of the corporate media, which are just part of the press, refuse to ask him substantial questions. The only things they are interested in at any given time are his response to some scandal that oftentimes may not even fully involve him. On this Flynn stuff, I pointed out, Flynn seeking immunity may have literally nothing to do with Donald Trump. It's being reported on as though it was a foregone conclusion that Flynn has some sort of damaging information involving Trump and Russia that goes to the top, he knows about, and he's going to disclose all to the FBI to save his own ass from being culpable in the same situation. But we have no proof that that's actually the case. We have only the claim that that's possible. It could involve Russia. It could involve Flynn himself covering his ass for a friend, for some other business partner that has nothing to do with the Trump campaign. It could literally be, yeah, he was under surveillance, which kind of proves what Trump said all along, I suppose, now doesn't it? And he did get stung by the fact that he was communicating with maybe somebody in Russia that was under active surveillance, which would be fucking funny. But it doesn't necessarily involve Donald Trump. I would think if there were evidence at this point that Trump actually worked with the Russians to usurp American democracy, to usurp the election, there would be such a firestorm by now. And yet there's no real firestorm. We see lots of smoke, but there's no fire. The corporate media talks about it constantly, and yet they haven't given us any evidence of wrongdoing on Trump's part. So far, evidence of Trump doing things wrong boils down to Trump said something that was insensitive, Trump insulted somebody, or Trump said pussy a decade ago. That's what we know he's done. Or Trump paid a little bit too little taxes for the left's, for their comfort, even though he paid like twice as much as Bernie Sanders did. That's what it boils down to. If they're not willing to ask him fair questions, I don't really blame him for not answering them. But to walk out of the signing ceremony instead of just holding up his hand saying, please, signing time, signing it, and then leaving, that is a little bit odd. I guess he was getting like hot under the collar. I think the Flynn thing, I think my reading of it is this. I think Trump really likes Flynn a great deal and really wanted him to be sort of in the center of his team. I think he's pissed at Flynn and is now worried that Flynn perhaps understands that maybe other people within the administration got caught up under some sort of tangential surveillance. I think the reason that would make him mad is that what the media should be reporting on is Trump proven correct. He and others under active surveillance as the result of normal state communications with foreign entities. And this, by the way, doesn't necessarily have anything to do with Russia. You think that if they were communicating with some target in France or Turkey or something, Flynn did business with Turkey apparently, that they wouldn't get caught up as well under that? But everyone just wants to talk about Russia, Russian connections, Russian money, Russian investors. He was a private businessman. If you're doing private business, somebody approaches you from Russia, says, hey, I want to invest $10 million in your casino. I want to rent out this penthouse in your skyscraper for the next 5 years. Here's a down payment of $500,000. Are you going to say no because of some apparently not yet configured plan to run for the presidency in the future and save yourself some trouble? No, you're in it for the money. You're a private businessman. What the Clinton Foundation talked to foreign entities all the time. They took all sorts of money from Saudi Arabia, from Qatar, from all these others. The corporate media never even talked about it. They never even discussed it. A couple of the sort of left alt media sites got a little bit upset at that. They're like, well, it's just taking money from regimes that have abysmal human rights records on women and gay rights and certainly children and stuff like that. A few of them questioned it. They were all Bernie bot outlets. All the Clintonian, the Clinton News Network, never even talked about it. If you just paid attention during the election to like CNN, you're probably not even aware that Hillary Clinton took money from Saudi Arabia. And how is that any different? Again, it's a private charitable organization. It looks strange, yeah, but there was no real investigation. They investigated her servers on unrelated stuff. They never really did any comprehensive investigation of what's the Clinton Foundation actually doing in Haiti. What did they do with the $10 million they got from Qatar or the $20 million they got from Saudi Arabia? What about this, what was it? I think it was Morocco, actually, if I remember correctly. One of their organizations they're donating and then getting like a state visit from Chelsea and Bill Clinton after Hillary fails to show up for diplomatic reasons, essentially for campaign reasons. They never really talked about this. And this is the greatest lie of the corporate media apparatus. It's not they smear somebody, it's they lie by omission. They omitted any negative details about anything Hillary did, brushed it up to Russia, and then let go of it. And they're still talking about Russia now. And so while Trump not signing this order, it looks bad, and it was meme-worthy and a bit cringy, and he probably should have thought better of it, I can at least understand why he'd be pissed. Here he is, the President of the United States, and the corporate media apparatus would rather pretend that you lost the election, that you're illegitimate, that you're an evil bigot, a racist, everything else under the sun. And I don't think even Trump expected to be attacked with this level of viciousness. I expect that what Trump believed is that after a while they would calm down and at least attempt to talk to him normally and give him the dignification of, yes, indeed, you are at least the President of the United States, whether we like it or not. So we're going to occasionally ask you a fair question. And so far, none of them have done that. Why do you think that the White House press corps now includes like Lauren Southern and stuff? It's because there are a few people there that can occasionally ask something that's intelligent that doesn't have something to do with pissing Russian hookers or Michael Flynn or Russia, Vladimir Putin. That's like 99% of the questions they ask Sean Spicer too. I feel sorry for him. I'm not surprised. He sits there and fucking chews Nicorette gum after Nicorette gum to deal with the stress of these people. He looks out on the crowd. What he sees are people that ultimately are totally brainless. They've been hired for their looks and their ability to conduct propaganda properly because they happen to be semi-coherent. The questions that they ask are a hatchet job. Why would he even want to talk to him? He gets trotted out on a day-to-day basis and has to deal with these idiots. There are a few people there that have some common sense. By the way, Fox doesn't have any common sense either. I keep seeing people trying to give them a pass. They're still corporate media, folks. Still part of the same retarded apparatus, and they always will be. Why do you think they're part of that streaming bundle along with CNN and supposedly these competing networks? Oh, they all join together for that because they know that they're going to get lots of money. It's just the way it is. It's profit-driven. I don't care about giving you the truth. It's not even news. It's certainly really not an activity of the press at this point. It's infotainment at most. You might as well watch InfoWars. You'll probably get more truth there at this point. Sad as though that may sound, you're probably getting more truth from Crowder, Alex Jones, hell, even somebody like David Icke. Even he has more common sense than these idiots at this point. That's about all. Peace out.